Okay, as to the video title, is Russell Brand a genius? What do I mean by that? I'm going to talk a little bit about what's important right now in my mind, but Russell Brand is not just a YouTuber who has attracted 5 million subscribers in a short period of time, but he's also had an interesting life where he's experienced many different aspects of, let's just say that the guy's been through a lot of shit with his addictions. I'll be honest, before a year ago, before even a half a year ago, I knew nothing about Russell Brand. To me, all I knew about him was what the media portrayed him as, which was some washed up actor who had gotten into heroin. Now, he's gotten clean, and his YouTube channel has grown to a very, over 5 million, I think, subscribers now. And the big question a lot of people would be asking is, why do people want to hear what Russell Brand has to say? And I'm going to move on to Joe Rogan here now. The same thing with Joe Rogan. He has millions of followers. He's getting paid a huge amount of money to make his podcasts. And people have this same question. What the hell do people want to hear Joe Rogan for? And here's the thing. It's not about either one of them. People are totally clueless as to why people follow these people. It's not about them as individuals. Joe Rogan, all the bullshit that's been talked about him in the media, I've listened to his podcasts. I've heard what he said about trans people. I've heard what he said about racism. For people to call him a racist, transphobe, homophobe, hater is just so stupid and uneducated that often I'll say, well, we all have different opinions. But no, if you think that, you're a fucking idiot. You're really a moron and you should get your head checked. Go to a psychiatrist, go to some professional and have them explain to you that your perspectives of another person don't equal their intentions. Intentions are everything. A guy like Russell Brand, for example, he's a wild card. He was an actor. All I knew about Joe Rogan up until a couple years ago, for example, was he was just a Fear Factor guy. I wasn't interested in what he had to say. But it was his guests that attracted me. It was his openness that attracted me. I don't watch Joe Rogan shows or listen to what he has to say when he's talking with martial arts people or half the folks he talks with. It's just one in like maybe 10 podcasts that I really like because that's what I like. And with Russell Brand, for example, it's not about him. That's the thing people just don't get. It's not about him. He has a way of conveying things, and this is what I mean by genius. He has a way of conveying things whether he knows it or not, that to me is genius. Because he's able to talk about topics like masks and vaxes and talk about them in a way that obviously points the finger at pharma without being censored and without having YouTube strike his channel. Because he's so careful about what he says. He's all over the place, but he goes, oh, that's just what I think. What do you think? And that's his catch line. He does not make any claims. That's important. And he has a whole line of lawyers, I'm sure, giving him basically what he can and can't say without getting in trouble. But not limiting what he says. That's different. In the media, they're limited on what they can talk about. We can talk about certain wars. We can talk about certain economic issues, but not others and not others. And the people, a lot of us, are just sick of the bullshit. We're sick of not being able to hear the truth. We're sick of not being able to get full accountability about what's going on in the world. And so guys like Russell Brand and Joe Rogan, they bring in people and have discussions and podcasts with people who may even have completely different views. And there's some of the few places that you can hear differing views. And I wouldn't promote any other particular channels that I know of. There's Unheard, Unherd. It's a YouTube channel, and he has pretty good discussions sometimes. There's Reason TV. There's Brett Weinstein and Heather Haying. But all these people ultimately are just people. And it's about what they present and who they talk with that's important. For example, Brett and Heather don't really interview anyone, so I get kind of bored with them. But moving on to all these different, let me think, what was it? There's one more person that that I was going to bring up that I listened to. But ultimately, what it comes down to is having information available and interviewing people who are interesting, who may have differing views. And we're living in a time where this whole, you call it whatever you like, but there's a world of censorship going on out there where people don't want to hear other people's point of views because they can just cast them off as racists or idiots or conspiracy theorists, whatever it might be. You see this all over Facebook, all over YouTube. People just say, oh, you must be one of them. I get accused of being a Trump supporter all the time. I mean, just leaving a certain comment that alludes to something completely not even politically oriented. And they'll be like, oh, you must be one of those guys, one of those conservatives. I'm like, actually, not at all. And that's how pathetic we've become, that we're not even willing to listen to people. We just throw them as one side or the other, and you're just one of these idiots. It's lazy, it's pathetic, and I think that a lot of people just need to grow the fuck up. That's my opinion on it, but what's your opinion? That's just my opinion. What's your opinion? Leave your comments. No, that's the Russell Brand approach, and that's what I like, and that's what I appreciate. The fact that he's not out there trying to prove himself as some great guru. He's not out there, sure, he's got his meditation shit, whatever. He does his thing to make money, fine. That's what we do. We all got to make an income somehow. Not everybody does this for money, though. I just make videos because I enjoy it, and my hope is to educate a few people to lead better lives and to maybe put a slightly better dent in the future with people who are willing to open their minds to what other people have to say without just being so shut off to other opinions. It's really comes down to this desperation to think we know what's true and what's right, and virtue signaling has become part of that. So those are my thoughts on it, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Let me know what you think. Russell Brand, Joe Rogan, I really can't believe the kind of stupid shit people say about both of them. But I really should have learned to expect it from people who don't do any critical thinking. And we encounter them every day in every comment section. It's easy to post something. It's much more difficult to look someone in the eye and say, this is how I feel, and I don't agree with you. But hiding behind our computers and our keyboards, we can say whatever we want. So, I'll say the goddamn same thing to you in person that I would ever say to you, online. So as long as we keep that in check, I think we're doing all right. Peace out.